What is going on? I hope you're doing great. So, quick question. Are you struggling to find the balance between your job and creating content? Well, stick around because this video's for you. I get it. Sometimes you're leaving work and you're super exhausted, and the last thing you want to do is go home, create content. Well, I've been there too many times, and I just want to give you some my perspective on things because I think sometimes when you feel stuck and you're like, you know what, is this for me? Should I keep creating content? I don't even have the time. How do other people do it? In this video, I want to give you my perspective and a different point of view on things because I think it might be helpful, especially sometimes, I don't know, like I feel like when I see other people who are going through the same things that I'm going through and they share their experience, it kind of like sometimes it clicks like, wait, I'm not the only one going through this, like other people are. Let me see their point of view. Let me see what they think about that. That's kind of like what I want to do with this video. All right, so let's get into it. First tip that I have for you is optimize your workspace. And what do I mean by that? The way that I have my place set up, or way that I have my camera and my computer and my little office space is very easy. And this is something that I've been wanting to do for a while because I remember before, like I used to have to go home. I used to have to set up my camera, have to set up the tripod, have to turn on the light. Like I used to have to do like all these things. And yes, like some obviously like sometimes you might still have to do that because let's say you're just starting out and you haven't figured it out. But my advice to you is as soon as you can, like try to have your little area where you record your videos and where you record your content already set up. That way you don't have to give extra steps. That way it's easy for you to just walk in, turn on the lights, and boom, you're good to go. Like you don't have to think about, oh, where do I put the camera? What is the best placement? Like no, like if you're already gonna know that because you're gonna have your area set up. So optimizing your workspace, whether that's to record content or your area for where you edit your videos or whatever the case may be, like try to optimize it as best as you can. And if you're just starting out and you don't even know like how to optimize it or what might be the best thing for you, then I suggest you go right here on YouTube and just search content creation spaces or areas or something like that so you can get some inspiration. And it doesn't have to be something like crazy. It can be a very minimal setup, and at the end of the day is whatever you feel comfortable with, is whatever you once you walk in you feel like you feel good. You're like, okay, this is my little area. I'm going to record content. And I don't know, there's something about that kind of gets the ideas flowing. Next thing that I have for you is plan ahead and time block. And what do I mean by that? I know sometimes, like, think about it like this: if you want to take your business serious, you have to time block and you have to like fill in the time that you say you're going to do something to actually do it. When you have your 9 to 5, like, you know, you have to be there from 9 to 5. Like that is non-negotiable, correct? So you should take your business the same way as serious as you take your job. For example, if you say, hey, on Thursday from 7 to 10, I'm going to jot down ideas of different content that I can create from 7 to 10 on Thursday. Think about it like if it was your job. If you really want to make this work, if you really want to grow your business, like put in the work from 7 to 10 because you said you were going to do it. Also, think about this: if you start failing on your word, you start failing on yourself. Now that you're barely getting started, then how do you think it's going to be, or how do you think it's going to go as your business scales? Like, it's going to demand more of your attention, it's going to demand more of your time, and it's going to demand more seriousness. So I suggest, like, if you time block, like no matter what, unless God forbid it's a family emergency, like you should not deviate from your schedule. Like if you time block from 7 to 10 on Thursday for content creation, just stick to that. Because if you are always in the constant, oh, I'm gonna do it tomorrow, I'm gonna do it Saturday, I'm gonna do it Friday, oh, you know what, I'll get to it Sunday, then I can almost guarantee you it's not gonna happen. One, because you're not gonna be consistent, and two, because you're not gonna take it as serious if you don't start to do it from the beginning. So the next tip that I have for you, if you are lacking on the content creation, is maybe you want to give this a try. Record short form content and see what performs better, and then create the long form videos around that. For example, let's say that you have to post a video on Monday or Tuesday or whatever your schedule is for YouTube. Well, what I suggest is you go back to your Instagram post and you see which one has performed better. What has your audience commented the most on? What have people suggested or given different thoughts on? And based on those comments or on that engagement, I will create a long form video. And also you can do that vice versa, right? Like if you take YouTube and you can see which one is like the best performing video, then you can also turn that into short form content, which in return is going to give you more content ideas. And then I feel like sometimes we kind of like overthink the whole process of creating content, and it just doing the simple things could be easier for us. So again, if you create the short form content, create a bunch of pieces, see what engagement you got or what reach was better, and then create a long form content around that for YouTube, and vice versa. Like if you have, you can check all your YouTube videos and then you can see which one has performed better and create short form content for Instagram or TikTok. All right, another tip that I have for you is break tasks into mini actions. And what do I mean by that? For example, something that I recently started doing was I struggle with the songs sometimes for my content on Instagram. So what I did was, you know what, I'm gonna time block for 10 minutes. I'm only gonna look for songs. I'm not gonna get distracted. I'm not gonna do like, I'm not gonna scroll on Instagram like mindlessly just to like scroll. Like I'm going to look for songs, and that's something you can take. For example, like if you want to create YouTube videos, you can take 20 minutes to script. You can take 20 minutes for your thumbnails. You can take 20 minutes to get new ideas. And if you do it, for example, like say if you want to work it throughout your week, you can do Monday script. Tuesday you can look for different thumbnails. Wednesday you can look for title ideas. So if you break the tasks into micro actions, that might be better for you versus just saying, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and create content today. Well, what are you gonna do for your content? Like, what are you gonna use your time for? Is what I'm asking. Like, are you gonna spend those 5 hours doing what? Just going on YouTube, looking at different titles, looking for different ideas that you can take, or wouldn't it be better instead of taking 3 hours in one day? Because if you're not used to it or you're just getting started, like you might not do it, right? Because you're not used to it versus doing small steps little by little every single day where you're actually going to do it. So I think the second one might be better, especially if you're just getting started. Another tip that I have for you is use a checklist when you're going to create content. A checklist could be very simple, something that you're always going to use. Or for example, like if you take content on the go, like do you take your camera, do you have your light, do you have your mics, do you have your laptop if you need it, whatever the case is, like make sure that you have a checklist and you just go through it instead of like, oh, did I forget my batteries, did I forget my backpack, did I forget this? Like if you have a checklist that you go through it every single time that you're gonna go record content, I think that might be helpful because you're gonna take the load off having to think about, oh, what do I need to bring, what do I need to take, because it'll be automatic. And again, you can just go through the checklist and just check things off as you go. That way you don't have to get stressed about, did I bring the equipment that I needed for this video, or did I have my script ready? Did I have my thumbnail ready? Like you're gonna have a checklist of everything. And I know that might work for some people who like to stay very organized, and that makes it a little bit easier for them. All right, so those are all the tips that I have for you. If you like the video, if you like the content, give me a thumbs up, give me a comment below, and let me know your thoughts. Let me know what other videos you guys want me to talk about. Either is there anything specific that you're going through that you're like, you know what, I would like some help with this, and let me know in the comments. Also, if you want to do a one-on-one call with me, there's a link below. We can book a call and we can talk about whatever's going on, and we can see how we can figure it out. And that's it. Yeah. I like that I'm staying pretty much consistent with this week over week, and I think I'm following like a flow that works for me, and I can share whatever ideas I have. All right. Well, you guys have a good one.